Hello, everyone. Just a second. Sorry. Technical stuff. Off. So, good evening. Hello, Robin.
Hello, Bante.
Terrible things happening in America, as usual.
Yes, you mean the hostage situation at the Planned Parenthood?
Yeah. I mean, whether it actually had anything to do with it, there's this big thing in America about abortion. It's interesting. I've had, of course, thoughts on it because, of course, I'm a woman and have a uterus and so on. No, because the whole idea of life and whether it is a wrong thing to have an abortion. And there's problems with it. And I think I am pro-choice. I think that's really the issue here. And I never really got it before because what pro-choice people say, women should have control over their own body, right? And the answer is always, well, but what about the baby's body? But I think the part of the argument that's being made is not just the ignoring of the baby's body. That's not really the point. The point is that the woman has, it's like it's her own country, right? Her own state. And so she has, she's the government of her own body, meaning everyone in there has to, I mean, it still sounds cruel and awful to me. That you should kill all your all your citizens. It's basically what it's saying. But nonetheless, I do believe that people should have choice. I do believe it's. I'm not keen on society. I mean, I guess I shouldn't say I. I think there's an argument to be made from a Buddhist point of view for giving people this kind of freedom. Because especially living in a pluralistic society where we only have a reason to impose morality where it inhibits people's freedoms and so on. I don't know. I guess anyway, it's an interesting debate, and I'm not clearly anti-abortion, pro-life, as they say. I'm pro-life, but also probably pro-choice. I don't think the Buddha was very keen on laws. He just would have us follow the laws. But it goes without saying, obviously, that as a Buddhist, one should never have an abortion. Not cool. But whether as a Buddhist, the government should illegalize abortions, I don't think that's fair either. I'm not sure that that's fair anyway. On the other hand, I should probably just be quiet because it's none of my business and I'm just a monk. Let society work these things out. Any thoughts, Robin? You have children.
I do. I have 4 children.
What are your thoughts on abortion?
Well,
not exactly abortion, because I think we're probably pretty similar, but on the anti-abortion movement.
well, the anti-abortion movement, when it becomes, vigilant like that, when it becomes violent like that, is ridiculous because you're killing people to make your point not to kill people. So, but I don't think they actually know the motive with this particular case tonight. They talked about, it could be domestic violence or a disgruntled worker or anything. They hadn't specifically said that it was one of these sort of violent pro-life people.
So, I mean, the fact that he was in a Planned Parenthood office, though, it's kind of Well, it's likely, right?
It is likely, yeah. And they said that he brought some things in that they thought might be bombs or something. So it's
And
a lot of questions.
what are people thinking? Did you see that comic I posted? It actually got it got some negative flack. Someone posted this comic that I thought was really neat. It said, it was of all these world leaders and they're all killing each other. And there's there's terrorists on the list, and there's like Dick Cheney was on the list, Netanyahu. And they're all talking about how if we kill people, we're going to achieve our goals.
Yeah.
We'll do this. And then it says, killing people hasn't really had the effect we were hoping for. Maybe we should try something new.
Yeah, like not killing people to show how killing people is wrong. Yeah. It's kind of the same with capital punishment. You can say, here we are killing someone to show how killing people is wrong.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that.
Yeah, I mean, an eye for an eye is, I don't think, a very well thought out strategy. Doesn't seem to be. I guess arguably it's a deterrent, right? But it's barbaric. Really.
It doesn't seem to be a deterrent. I mean, people still do their horrible things, and then someone else has to kill the person because it's their job, and then they have that bad karma, right?
Yeah.
We have some questions.
Uh-oh. Okay, shoot.
Okay. Will the MedMob be recorded and put up on your channel?
No, but I put a picture up.
Oh, okay.
Facebook.
How did it go?
There were 5 of us, which was expected. I wasn't expecting it wasn't a mob, it was just a group. So Monday, I'm going to try to do it in the atrium. No, not an atrium, I'm told that's not the right word, an arboretum. Although it's also an atrium. Big open space with some trees in it. It's actually a perfect room for it, and it's usually quiet. It's very quiet, and there's people sometimes sitting at the benches. So Monday we'll do that.
That's an indoor room with trees in it?
Yeah.
That sounds really nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's neat that they've done this big window. One wall is just windows and big trees. Evergreens.
That sounds really nice.
And a waterfall. But the waterfall is chlorinated, which is absurd because the whole room smells like chlorine. Anyway, it's kind of just a funny people I don't understand.
Yeah. I think there are some pretty serious problems with water that's not purified, though, isn't there? Isn't that where what is it that people get when they go on cruise ships and never mind.
You can salt the water. My mother's pool in Florida has salt in it. Not that this is at all related. Let's stick to Buddhist questions. But yeah, back on track. Next question.
Okay. Next question. Have you found that people's minds tend to have a bias or higher propensity towards one particular delusion over another? For example, greed, anger, etc.?
Suppose, yeah, everyone's different. Most people have all defilements mixed up inside. We're mostly full. Putu means full. Full of defilements. Putu jana.
When I first started doing walking meditation, I wobbled a lot and lost my balance a lot. Now I'm better at balancing, but a lot of times my legs will shake when I'm walking and I feel like I'm not strong enough. Am I not strong enough? Or am I walking too much or too little? Or am I just doing it wrong?
You're just human. It's not supposed to be perfect. It's in fact supposed to show you the imperfections. So you're probably doing it right. And the fact that you're seeing the wobbling is good. You're seeing that your body is imperfect. But what you're also seeing is that you want it to be perfect. And you have this tendency to desire for your body to get stronger and better and so on. It's not going to happen. guess what? You're going to get weaker, more feeble, less balanced, until you get crippled and bedridden and die. That's your future. So, congratulations. Well done for being born.
It's amazing how when you do something and you don't think about it, if you're not walking mindfully, if you're just walking, you feel like you walk great. But the more you really are in tune with the movements of walking,
Uh-huh.
the worse you realize you walk.
But you're not exactly letting it flow. We're kind of interrupting the process on purpose. And it's a bit more challenging. But I think more to the point, we get kind of, as you continue walking meditation, if you're not being very mindful of everything, of all your movements, it's very easy to build up aversion or distraction or so on, to the point where it affects you. Because if you're very mindful, if you're very calm, if you're very focused, walking meditation should be fairly easy. But even still, the body is not well equipped to do slow movements like that. I mean, not as well equipped as it is to do ordinary walking, which is easier, I would say. Ordinary walking is to get in a rhythm, and rhythms are good for the body because, for the mind, because you build up this static charge, and so the mind is able to send out the instructions on a. No, it's just comfortable. The mind is good with this getting in a rut, and we kind of break that up on purpose because we want to see how the mind reacts. We want to challenge, and we want to sort of push the mind, push it to its limits until or force it to show if it's going to react. So if the mind's going to get upset about something, we want to see that. We want to change that. So we have to push it to the point where it would get upset, so that we can learn how to deal with difficulty and not get upset. So it should be challenging. It should be uncomfortable. It should force you out of your comfort zone. So if it was just ordinary walking and if it was easy, that wouldn't do that. It should be impermanent, unstable, unsatisfying, and constant, uncontrollable. That's what you should see. So good for you. Did we get caught up?
We are caught up.
It's 9:58, so that's a good hour. Dhammapada will be up tonight, tomorrow morning probably. So let's call it a night. Thanks, Robin, for patiently sitting with me. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Have a good night.
Thank you, Bhante. Good night.